Alright, I wanted to show you, this is a guy wrote me and sent me the picture of these figures that were done out of willow branches. The guy did them out of willow branches. Maybe you've seen them on Facebook or whatever it is. And he said, you know, how would you do this? How would you do these figures if you didn't have a willow branch that was curved and all that other stuff? And I said, well, there's really no problem with that. What you have to do is you have to, from the front side, trace this out and cut it out, or you can just, you know, carve it out. Now I have a bandsaw. I could cut it out, which I did right here. But what you have to understand is that you have to carve from the front. This is all from the front. This is not the side view or anything like that. Actually, this is the front and this is the side view right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve this same type figure simply using a piece of 1-inch basswood and to do our figure. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, the first thing you want to do, the first situation you want to do is you want to go ahead and establish the feet or the shoes, which is somewhere about right in there. It's probably 1/4 of an inch off. You measure about 1/4 of an inch off, and then you just sort of cut the shoes out. Now remember, we're going from the front side. We're not going from the side. So it's an entirely different type way of doing something. Okay? So the feet will stick out like this. Let me take another little cut. And the feet will stick out just like this. This is the side view right here. I'm going to cut that a little bit more. Alright. Now the head, this right here, will be the front of the head. So let's go ahead and separate that for just a minute, and from the back as well. Let's separate the head from the piece. So naturally this is going to be where the face is going to come. So we're going to come back here and we're just going to take off some back here. In other words, the head is going to come forward. So naturally we're taking off from back here. Just at first we're just doing a little. So the head is coming this way. Okay? Alright. Alright. Now, the sides where the arms are going to be here. They're going to be on the side here. So we're simply going to draw an arm on this side. Okay? We draw an arm and we're going to cut that out. Put it in its pocket, and then we're going to do something a little different with the arm on the other side. Okay. We're just gonna bring that down a little bit, and then we'll shape the arm, you know, to the way we want it and all that. But this will be this is the chest right here. So we'll come on down like this to indicate this is the chest area. Okay? All right, so we have the hand on this side, the arm on this side, and we can cut out a little bit more in here just to give a little bit more depth, as we possibly say. Now on this side, I'm going to go ahead and bring a little hand right here, and then we're going to come over, and I'm going to come up like this and come over like this, in other words, with the arm. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and then I'm going to come across here and cut here. Whoop. There's a little finky piece. And then we'll shape the arms, you know, later and stuff. And then we're going to come in here and make a cut. And this is all going to come back right in here. I don't know what that was. Anyway, now remember, we want, it looks a little odd, but we want the shape to look kind of unusual. So I'm cutting a little bit more off of the, all right, now this is the way that the piece is going to look, okay? All right, now we start filling in and shaping the piece itself, in other words. Because naturally this arm is not going to be this big. It's going to come back over here like this. And we're going to cut right here and open up for that hand right there. Okay? Just like that. All right? So now let's just sort of push this chest forward. And we're going to come down to the bottom here and we're going to separate our shoes. Okay? That's our shoes right there. And we're going to come in the middle and we're just going to make a little cut to separate our shoes. And then separate them up here. Okay? All right. So as you can see already, he's got an unusual look to him, but we'll work all that out. And then we want to come forward with this head so that we can actually, we want to come all the way forward with this head and just sort of round up this up here. Okay? Okay. And we'll just kind of all right. Now, let's go ahead and begin work on our body, and let's shape our body a little bit more. And these arms will come back here, okay? And they will be more than welcome to be like this. And we will cut back here, and we will sort of cut down on our piece right in here on the arms. In other words, they're going to be thin, they are going to be. So, and let's work on our stuff here. Bring it down, bringing this down, the back of it down. Make that cut. And we will also bring, now if we look at the arm is too thick, so we have to bring that down just like this, okay? Because it's too thick for what we want. Right in there. Okay. Now he's beginning to sort of take shape, isn't he? Yes, he is. Alright, I'm gonna kind of wind. We got some wind today. It's not bad. I cut some grass today. Believe it or not, most of you are still under my son in Kentucky is still under snow warnings and everything like that, so he is definitely they're not outside, and it's really a beautiful day, but the wind is a little strong today. We're probably expecting some rain. Just cutting down on the shoes like this, as you can see, and we'll keep them together because coming from the side like this, we don't have a lot to work with as far as depth. You can actually work, I mean, if you wanted to make it a 1.5 inch piece, you could, but that, I think that would be just a little bit too okay. Now, let's look at our piece here for a minute. Now, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. We want to look at our piece, and we want to round this top up here more than ever so that we can work with it. And we want to come forward with our head, okay? And we're going to come back here and take a little bit off because we want to keep that rounded as we possibly say. All right. I know this, like I said, it looks a little bit peculiar the way it's he's doing, but it's kind of unique. It's a unique way of doing something. He just basically what he did was he used the curvature of the tree rather than actually cut his out or anything like that, which is really kind of neat. It really is. Okay. All right. Now what we want to do is let's bring this up a little bit and bring this out. Now let's go ahead and cut this in here and bring this down so that there we go. Bring this down a little bit. And bring this and this is the back here. So as we look at the piece, let's bring this head a little bit forward. Now, and just kind of get those saw marks off. This is back here. That's what we want. We want to get all those saw marks. Now, what we want to do, let's make this a little bit alright, what we're going to do is we are going to I'm going to put a little coat on him. So I'm going to draw from this point down to here and then come around at the very bottom of that like that. The first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to make my cut in here. Now making him a little coat is what I'm doing. And bring your knife all the way that way. Okay. You do this again. Get it more of a depth cut, as we say. And then we want to follow that coat, as you can see from the bottom there, all the way across the bottom here where the coat is, and come up over here on this side. Okay? Now also from here, let's go ahead and from the hand, let's just go ahead and come up here and make the other end part of the coat and cut that like that and cut into here. There we go. We're cutting that. And from the bottom of the hand, we're going to just come on down here like this. Okay? To that part, and we're going to cut that right there. Okay? Now on my videos, always put it in large mode, and you'll come right up on top of what I'm doing. In other words, put it in large, enlarge the screen, and you'll be right up on top of the knife work. In other words. And let's cut out a little bit more for the coat here. Okay? So we come across here and cut a little bit into here. There we go. All right. We're going to work this. So let's come over here to our coat in our pocket, and let's put our little creases in here. There we go. We can even give that a little bit more cut to give a little bit more depth to that particular piece right there. Let's cut up on that. There we go. And let's just sort of move that like that. Okay? So now let's come up from the shoe, straight up from the shoe. I'm going to draw that right in here. Straight up from the middle of the shoe, and we'll cut our area that separates the legs. And then let's make our little seam cut right here on both sides. It gives it that look. All right, okay. That open seam look. And at that point we can kind of remove a little bit of the shoes down in here to make that. There we go. Just make it, there we go. Just make it that way. Okay? Alright. Now, the coat is well established. So we're just going to come up here and we're going to make just a little cut like this, in other words, to see where the separation from the pants and the shirt is. Now we're going to come back here and we're just going to kind of take some of this off back here. Give that a little bit more depth to that coat. And then we're going to make just a cut in the back here to give us, and kind of separate that just a little bit. That's going to give us the back of the shoes right there. Okay? Now I'm going to take the shoes and I'm just going to kind of, since this is kind of an unusual figure, I'm just going to give it that upper cut in here. Okay? There we go. Just like that. And then we come over here and we make that cut for the pants. Okay? And that will be the pants right in there. In fact, I can bring that down just a little bit because it stands out a little bit too much. And come over here and do the same thing. We make a cut and we bring that part of the shoe back. Okay. Where the shoe is. Alright. So we have basically a little figure here, you know. Alright, now let's go to this arm right here and let's cut it in here like this so that it's kind of equal with the other one on the other side. See, this one comes here, but this one is a little bit higher, so we're going to cut that down. We're going to leave kind of the protruding thing, but we're going to cut that down where it sort of gives it that look, as we say. All right. So let's go ahead on this one. Let's go ahead and make our hand. So we're going to come across here, pull away from there, and we are creating the hand now. We're making the hand, and we want to cut this, and we're going to just cut a little bit like that. The wrinkles in the hand itself. Okay. Where it gives it that look. All right. The next thing we're going to work on, and let's kind of, I just come down here and one of this. The next thing we're going to work on is, of course, the head. Now, the head is come forward, and we have to look at the head from this point of view. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a hat on him. And come this way with it. And I'm going to cut across like that. Okay? And then we're going to come up from this side. And if we have to cut the hat back, we will. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving it a leeway of the time that I need. Okay. Okay. We cut down just this in here, and as you see now, the face is going to be here. Okay? As we bring that face forward to this area here. And we remove that in there. Okay. Alright, cut into here. Now, with the hat, we come in the top of it and we cut around the brim here of the hat to make the top of our hat, okay? It's just basically cutting around the top. You want to be careful, don't get too much pressure on it. You can see I make several cuts different cuts before it okay. So we began to work our hat now. We go around, we work the brim, okay. And we sort of bring this up to, we're not going to worry about eyes, we're just going to kind of bring the nose up in that area. So we're going to go ahead and come across with the nose, and we're going to go ahead and cut that. Okay? Okay. And we're going to cut it up in here. On each side, we're going to cut it sort of like this. So we deepen that. Now we come down here and we cut this way here. Okay? We just remove a little bit of stuff like that. And let's continue to bring the brim of the hat back. You may have to come back here because it may be too long back here and cut some of that hat off so it will match with the rest of it. All right. And let's cut a little bit of this off right in here for the nose. And come back just a little bit. All right. And let's cut a little bit more down in here. All right, the next thing, so if we look at our piece, you know, we'll bring that down just a little bit, but when we cut our thing in here, we'll get that. So we want to bring, on both sides, we want to bring our piece down here. The edge lines, what I call them. cut these. And let me cut this in here just a little bit. And let's just go ahead and put a little smile on his face. And cut his mouth. Okay. And let's just come up underneath here and cut a little bit more underneath there to kind of bring it that way, where it gives it the thorn look. And let's come down here a little bit more. Bring that down. And bring that down a little bit in there. Cut in that. Alright, see how the look is? Let's come up a little bit on there just so it sort of equals the time. Okay, now we're not going to do any ears. We're just going to take and make our hair do this, and then we're just going to take and remove that in there where our hair is. I'm sorry. Oh, lungs acting up. Everybody knows I've got an issue with my lungs. Of course, all you know, I had a lung that was destroyed from tuberculosis. So I really am only operating on one lung, to be honest with you. So sometimes I get just sort of choked. Okay, as you can see, it's kind of an odd way of doing something. And let's just kind of bring this over a little bit more. And from this point, we want to do the same thing over here. We want to come down and cut into here where that will be our hair. Back over here. So I'm just going to kind of up on that nose a little bit. And let's bring this back just a little bit. And kind of do that a little bit and make them arms look, you know, small and thin. And back in here a little bit more too. Alright, there is our face. Let me cut a little bit deeper in here, just right in here. I want to make that just a little bit deeper. There we go, like that. Okay, and from the back we're and let's kind of come forward with this. Let me make a little bit more cut in here. I'm just looking at things and making just some, where I can make this a lot thinner in such a way. Okay. And we want to cut up and around, and let's get a little bit more depth in the hand in here and in here, and then sort of go like that, in other words. Okay. Just making that a little bit thinner of an arm. So you've got that curvature now in that figure that you want. And yes, it gives it sort of an odd look. It really does. But it's kind of a fun thing to do. It gives it sorry, excuse me. Look to it. So let me get my okay, what we're going to do with this hand is I'm going to kind of do this like this, and I'm going to make a little cut right here into that hand, and I'm going to put a, I want to cut this up just a little. I want to thin that up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And I want to put a little toothpick in there and make it a cane for him. Come into the back and just cleaning up a little bit of this back here. So you've got that curvature now in that figure that you want, and you've just done that by using a 1-inch piece of wood. Just tracing it and then using a 1-inch piece of wood. And I'm going to kind of do this. And a little bit of this back here. Okay. Now I'm going to go and get my V-tool. I don't have it with me right now, but I'm going to go get my V-tool. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the hair real quick for you. I should have brought my V-tool with me. Here it is. And do the hair. Pull it forward. All right, let's see the hair. We're just gonna kind of touch that up right in there. Bring it down just a little bit. You want to be careful. You don't want to put too much pressure because it's just, you know, it's not that it's weak in there. And the same thing here. You just want to kind of touch it, sort of touch that thing where the hair is on both sides. And we've got our little stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me cut just a little bit more up underneath here. Bring it just a little bit more forward, like this. Just a little bit. That is. And there it is. Let me go wet him. And let me go wet him real quick, and we'll get some of this done. Okay. Sorry. And wait a minute. Here's a. No, that's not enough water right there. I thought there was some right there, and this is not enough. All right. Let me show you. That wind's blowing hard today. I tell you, it is blowing. All right. Let's bring it forward. Now, I know I've had people complain, oh, you need to edit. No, be quiet. I don't want to do all that stuff. There you go. Look at him. Now I'm going to clean him up a little bit and get some things kind of cleaned up as we go forward. But there's our little guy, and I'll get him painted, and I'll put the little toothpick as his cane. But as you can see, if you look at him, you can see how it turns and the face all looks that. So it's got that curvature look, in other words, and inside here it has that look that is gives it that, you know, that roundness, as we say. All right, well, there's our little figure, and thank you for tuning in. And this is just a little way, and we're going to do another one, but we're going to do it with the head turned, and we may even curve it just even a little bit more. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's up to us to decide what we want to do. But this first one, that's how you do it. You cut it out with a bandsaw, and you just start carving. But it's different. You're coming, but remember, you're coming from the front of the figure this time, not the side of the figure, from the front of it. So you work it that way. All right. God bless you now.